I'll start off with saying all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem and Kwakadash, Shalom to apostles, elders on down to the brothers, Shalom to Ophel elect. The lesson we call Crash Out Season. All around the world, all around America in social media, you got E and his woman crashing out from losing jobs to can't afford their place to gas and food. You got some preparing for race wars, but they understand this is the end of their kingdom. I like to start off with Baruch. Sorry, I like to start with Baruch 4:31. Miserable are they that afflict thee, and rejoice at thy falls. And that's what they've been doing for years for us. They afflict us when we was at our lowest state. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve, and misery is she that receiveth thy sons. Whereas she rejoiced at thy ruins, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieving for her own desolation. Because things are about to change. Everything about to flip. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And that's what the Lord gonna flip everything. And they're gonna be, and you start to see that happening. I see Ecclesiastes 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and that 10th, and I will utter with my tongue, a man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies. And that's what we do. Live to see the fall of our enemies. Waiting patiently. Proverbs 21:13. Yeah. Whosoever stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, and he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Because years they've been hearing us cry when things was happening to us. Now flipping on them, now they cry. Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hated thee, which persecute thee. This is when the curses that's on our people are gonna go on there on Edom. Psalm 115 and 3. Okay, hold. But our power is in heaven, and he has done whatsoever he has pleased. And the Lord gonna do whatever he want. Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. And that's what the prophets are doing today. Mount Seir, that's Edom, elite. And say unto it, Thus is the Lord power. Behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee. That's meaning Lord's wrath. And I will make thee most desolate, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. And they've had it since the beginning, a perpetual hatred towards us, in the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity has end. Therefore, as I live, says the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. And since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And that's where everything flipping, we gonna pursue them. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passes out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with the slain men, and in thy hills, and in thy valley, and in thy river shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And I will make thee a perpetual desolation in the cities, and shall not return. When the Lord destroyed these cities, they're not going to return this time. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, because thou hast said, these two nations, which are the southern kingdom and north kingdom, these two countries, the same, shall be mine, and we will possess it, as whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will even do according to thy anger, and according to thy envy, which they always envy us, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, that I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And they're going to know the Lord does when at the end. Lamentations. Lamentation 1 and 2. 1 and 21. They have heard that I sign, and there is none to sorry. Start over. They have heard that I sigh, and there is none to comfort me, and all my enemies have heard of thy troubles, and they are glad that thou hast done it. Thus thou will be bringing the day that thou hast called, and there shall be like unto me. Meaning the troubles that we going through, they're gonna be going through. And let all their wicked come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me. For all my transgression, for my signs and many, and my heart is faint. Nehemiah 3 and 1. Woe to the bloody cities! It is all filled of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. And that's what they did to the natives of this land. Talk about 2 and 12. Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth the cities by iniquity. And that's what they did throughout the cities in America. Everything was established through blood. Nehemiah 1 and 2. The Most High is jealous, and the Lord revenges. The Lord revenges is fury, and the Lord will take vengeance on his adversary and reserve the wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all equip the wicked. The Lord has his ways in the whirlwinds and in the storm and in the clouds are the dust of his feet. Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and at all thy adversaries every one of them shall go into captivity. They that spoil thee shall be spoiled, because they took all resources, so we're going to do the same to them. And all they prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore the health unto thee, which are the Israelites, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, said the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, and saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. And with that being said, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakwakadash. Shalom.